What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Chatbox. My name is Ryan from Gameweek 27. We're going to be talking about Gameweek 27 team. This is how it went, and we'll talk about the Gameweek 28 team selection as well in terms of what my plans are and all of that. But welcome. If you are new, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe as well. We're trying to get to 700 subscribers, and we're 22 away. And also, if you're playing a wildcard this week, there's a wildcard video on the channel right now. Make sure to check that out as well. Let's get started. So, Game Week 27, a green arrow up to 313k, 85 points. Unfortunately, the last minute I did Darwin to Slanke didn't work out. I did end up losing points on that, 3 points there. That was a bit unfortunate. And also keeping De Bruyne, I guess. It was a shame because De Bruyne had a few chances for assist, but nothing came from it. Probably, hands down, my worst transfer this season, and he's gone this week. I can guarantee you that. Tin, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome. So, Ariola, Region, and Gabriel did well. Branthwaite, unfortunate. Maybe I should have probably started Doughty instead, but it was looking good until, West Ham scored. And then Saka, 7 points, hauled off at halftime because he was sick. In one way, I guess that was good for me because his EO was higher than 100%. So every point he got was a rank drop for me. 1450, 15, Odegaard with a 10-pointer. Haaland disappointing as captain again. Watkins, 13-pointer. So, upcoming week, very interesting in terms of moves to do. And obviously, Solanke will be the favorite captaincy choice, but we will look and see whether we can try and get how many others we're looking at in terms of a double. Now, for me personally, I'm looking at Solanke will be captain. De Bruyne is gone. I most likely Heung-min Son. And then the question is, do I double up? So I'll have Doherty this week, who will start over Branthwaite. Pedro Porro plays Villa, but Villa at home, so can't start Pedro Porro. Region needs to be benched as well, but I don't know. Ideally, I would like someone from probably from Bournemouth, because if you look at Luton's fixtures, they're probably not going to keep a clean sheet in both games, to be honest. Bournemouth could keep a clean sheet against Sheffield United. They won't keep one against Luton. And if I was to bring in a Bournemouth defender, it's going to be for a hit. So I kind of have to decide if I want to bring in a Bournemouth defender. Or most likely, what they could get is 6 points plus, let's say, another 2 from the Luton game. So 8 points in total. If Pedro Porro plays and gets 2 points plus a hit, 6. So I'm missing out on 2 points. So uncertain, to be honest, what to do. Nick, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome. Genuinely considering a Carlton Morris now only because of Solanke not playing 100% with his injury has made me very hesitant. I think Morris is also not a bad shout, to be honest, as a differential punt. I haven't thought about Morris yet. Maybe there's a case to be made to even remove the likes of a Haaland and get a Carlton Morris instead of going for a Brentford, instead of going for a Bournemouth defender. I haven't thought about it too much yet. But Morris as well is not a bad shout, to be honest. Especially if people don't have the triple captaincy chip and are willing to take a punt on a different striker. He's actually not a bad play at all. Let me try and bring up the fixtures for like Ben Krelin's predicted fixtures, because I'm planning on playing my free hit in 29. So the move I make this week, ideally I would like it to be usable in Game Week 30 as well. And maybe 31 if I don't wildcard in 31. So I was to bring these guys over here. Connor, welcome. How are you doing? Remove Tony for Solanke. Is it worth a -4 for Haaland out for Muniz or Morris? Back in Game Week 32. Ooh. Muniz or Morris? Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Forest. Morris is not a bad shout to be honest, but then Tottenham in 30. Muniz also on form. Wolves, Tottenham, Sheffield United in 30. Both are pretty good options. I guess Morris has the slight upside with one extra game, probably. Good mate of mine is almost set on triple captain on Morris. He's going all out for anxious. Fair enough. If you're free hitting in 29, then I go with Morris, by the way. As in, remove Haaland and get Morris in. So Liverpool and Arsenal, right? Two big games, but there's so much risk with it as well. That's the thing. I'm wondering how much risk do I want to take. The other thing that I need to kind of consider, which is not easy because I'm very tight on budget, is if I remove Haaland, right, who is currently 14.5 right now. If I sell him, I can only sell him for 14.3, which means I will have to buy back at 14.5. Now, I don't know if that will affect the likes of me being able to get like a Salah as well. Like having Salah, Saka, Son, and Haaland in a team. Will it be possible? That's what I'm not sure about. So I might have to think about that. We'll have 2 extra games because he doesn't blank. I think it's worth the -4. See, if I'm free hitting in 29, Morris technically has only 1 extra game, not 2 extra games. Because for me, what he does in 29 kind of doesn't matter. Because this team will look like this in 29. That's the thing. What Morris does in 29 doesn't really matter for me. The question is, he has 1 extra game, technically speaking. If it was 2 extra games and if I wasn't free hitting in 29, then I think it kind of makes sense as well. But because it's only 1 extra game, I have to kind of decide and see. Although it's 2 good games, I must say. But at the end of the day, Liverpool versus City have always been like a goal scoring fixture as well. What do you guys think? Thoughts? If it's 1 extra game, would you do it? If, let's say, I was to bring in Morris for Haaland, right? I'd go into 29 like this. In this specific situation, would I free hit? Would you guys free hit if this was your team in 29? Like, would I rather take a -4 and do something like for example, do something like this. Let's say I do Madison. Right? Play a team like this with 9 players and not free hit. Although not great, not an optimal. Is it an optimal team? Maybe I don't have Ariola, I would have Lekan maybe. And I would probably have Muniz instead of Morris. The forward line, I'll probably also have potentially a Forest midfielder, maybe. Maybe I could have Bowen as well. So yeah, that's the thing. Questions. What to do? And then the thing is, trying to bring Haaland back will also be an interesting task. Because ideally, I don't want to keep Morris, right? Because Luton, after that, they don't have a double. So I kind of need to get rid of Morris as well. So that's a transfer as well. Even if I was to sell Tony out, to get Morris in, let's see, how would this team look like? This team would probably look like this. And then I would probably have. Would I I'll probably play Tony to be honest? I'll probably remove Morris here to try and get Haaland Black in. Question is, how would I get a certain Mo Salah in game week 30? Fixtures, Liverpool have Brighton. How do you get Salah back as well? Is the next question. To be honest, I would free hit given that situation, as I think I'd rather have a full 11 this week than taking a punt on a collection of a double game weeks later on in the season, which are difficult to predict. Fair enough. Fair enough. Boki, welcome. How are you doing? How are you doing? So yeah, so you probably free hit game week 29, right? 85 points all out. Green arrows, very happy. Nice. Well done, well done. I'm also on 85 points. So you probably free hit in 29, which I am also thinking I'll most likely end up doing. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't sell Haaland then. 67th in the league. All right, let's have a look. So I probably wouldn't sell Haaland. I will have to probably bypass out Morris. He is a good option though. I should stay. The other thing is I'm trying to win a certain mini league. And this is where the mini league trying to win mini leagues comes into play. Because I'll show you guys ideally. So this is the mini league. Where is it? That I'm trying to win. 87 in the league when you have a chance to look. All right, let's bring you up. So this is the mini league I'm trying to win. I am currently, how many points is that? 17, 13. That's 69 points behind. But behind first place. Right? And first place currently, he has got a team. He's going to play his triple Luton. He doesn't have any Bournemouth, so I'm assuming he'll bring at least 2 Bournemouth and take a hit as well. So he'll probably bring Solanke in. The question is, I think he might sell Haaland to bring Solanke in. That kind of gives me Haaland as a differential as well in the mini league. I can't see him selling Tony or Watkins because he's not looking like he's going to free hit in 29. So Haaland will be a differential for me in the mini league as well. And then he might bring in a Bournemouth defender, maybe. Probably for Virgil. So kind of have to wait and see in terms of how it's going to happen. All right, let's have a look at your team. So this is Bucky's team. And then let me load up Nick's team as well. Nick, 86 points as well. Well done, Nick. So, Bucky. Airline goal, Walker, Gabriel, Danburn with the bonus points as well. Foden, Saka. Saka captaincy, unlucky. Could have had more actually, to be honest. But bit unlucky there. Bowen, Pascal Gross. That was unfortunate, the bench in. Solanke, Haaland, Watkins, Palmer and Doty on the bench. Oh well. Doty, I understand. Can't do much about it. So 85 points. Pretty good week. Okay. What are you planning on doing? And then there's Nick with 86 points. Gordon on the bench as well, unfortunately. But who do you start Gordon over? 20? I would have given 20 against Chelsea, to be honest. So Ariola, Gabriel, Walker, Colwell, Odegaard, Saka, Foden, Palmer, Watkins, Haaland, and Tony. What's the plan, Nick, for your team? Who would you captain out of Solanke and Morris? So me personally, since I won't have Morris, I will most likely be captain in Solanke. But out of Solanke and Morris, I would still slightly lean it towards Solanke because of the Sheffield United fixture. And this is Sheffield United this is Bournemouth at home for both games. That kind of gives Solanke an edge, and then the Sheffield United fixture also kind of gives Solanke an edge. All the Bournemouth, I watched that Bournemouth versus Burnley game, and they were bad. Like Burnley were creating so many shots against Bournemouth, and I'm like, I'm wondering, right? I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be the other way around. Like Bournemouth were the team who was supposed to take the shots, but it was the other way around where Burnley were taking the shots. So I'm not as confident on Solanke. Maybe I think there's a punt available option for a punt on Morris, but I still think Solanke has a slight edge in terms of the fixtures. And Bucky says, I don't know, I'm saving 2 transfers for Gameweek29, like you said, few gameweeks ago. Fair enough. So what is your play? You have Solanke and Doty just like me for this week. You have to use 1 transfer, right? Do you want to go for... How is your team gonna look? Let's bring up your team and see how it looks like in 29. Oops, wrong one. Alright, so this is your team. For this week. For Gameweek29, it would look like... Oh. Did you play Turner? No, Turner has lost his spot. Sorry. Lean towards Solanke for Tony as the first transfer. Unsure about the second transfer. For who? For Nick? Or potentially going to sack a defender and downgrade just to save cash? Fair enough. Alright, let's look at your team as well next, Nick. Alright, so probably Pascal Gross out. Swimming Sun in. Something like this. Would you do that? Oh, wait, Pascal Gross has Forest. Still one good fixture. If you know he's starting, that is. Ideally, I want to start Palmer as well, right? For this game week over Pascal Gross. Would you guys start Palmer? Yeah, right, at home. So maybe, even if you were to remove Pascal Gross for Huming Sun, who would you start Sun over? Maybe don't bring Sun. I'll free hit to be honest with that team. With this team. True, he could free hit. Like if you were to do... Who would you be missing in this team from the back line? You probably want... Yeah, because you'll sell Pascal Gross. You'll sell Dan Burn. Even if you were to do, let's say... Just for the sake of testing this. If you were to do Walker out, Udogi or something. I just want to test the waters with and then carried over 2 transfers. What would you do? You would remove Pascal Gross for a Huming Sun. Probably remove Solanke for Tony. You still will be in a bit of a problem. You'll have 3 less players. Defense is not a problem. That you probably he doesn't have to free hit the team. You might have to sell Foden though. And probably look to get Madison as well if you wanted to. How is that that's a minus 0.9. You're short on cash. Which means instead of Solanke, you would sell Haaland. That's the player to make way. Because you're short on cash. You could set up like a team like this and you end up playing with 9 players technically. Maybe let's say 10 because the defense, I don't think anyone is keeping a clean sheet. So what do you want to do? Mr. T, welcome. How are you doing, Mr. T? Hope your good mate brought in Havertz 14 points. Fire, nice. I would appreciate your thoughts on my current team for the next 2 game weeks. All right, we'll have a look on your team as well. So, okay, would you play something? Would you be willing to play with 9 with a -4? I mean, technically, you could actually, you don't want a free hit, you could take the risk of bringing Morris as well this week. On a, and then you would have something like this. But instead of Udogi here, yeah, probably be Udogi, right? Would you bring anyone else? Maybe a Ross Barkley instead of a Pascal Gross. So maybe did like maybe you did something like this for the double. And then you went into 29 and you had something like Foden for Sun. Yeah, Bowen before? Yes, he did. And then you maybe sell Solanke for Tony. I don't know if I would sell Palmer though. The issue is I think you'd want Foden in your team long term. Yes, that's the thing. This is very hard indeed. But then you'll be stuck with triple Luton going into game week 30, and then you'll be like, my team doesn't look great. Maybe free hitting might be the bait for you to go as well, Boki. I don't know. The thing is, if you free hit in game week 29, then in game week 28 you use your 2 free transfers. Because you can't carry an extra free transfer over to game week 30. So you will have to make that decision this week in terms of what are you going to do. Because let's say you do free hit, right? In 29. If you're free hitting in 29, then you have the option to set up your team for game week 30 instead. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to find a way to get Luton players out back again. Yes. Now, if you don't free hit in if you free hit in 29, you could still do like a Pascal Gross to Heung-min Son, because do Brighton have a double? They might have a double in Chelsea City, but they have Liverpool as well, Brentford, Arsenal. Not easy fixtures for Pascal Gross after this as well. So you could potentially, would you bring Heung-min Son in for Pascal Gross, and would you start Palmer or would you Son? You do something like this. Could bring in another Bournemouth midfielder or defender, to be honest. Could do Turner out to Neto. Although I am not sure if I would do that specific goalkeeper transfer. Maybe I might. I don't know. Up to you to decide on that. Because Areola does have Burnley this week, which is a pretty good week for Areola as a goalkeeper. But then going forward after that, he doesn't have as great fixtures. Tiger and Guna, welcome. How are you doing? So you could probably bring a Bournemouth defender instead of Taylor to get rid of Taylor. Maybe Zabani. I keep butchering this name. You could do something like this. Start him over possibly Dan Burn. So you could probably do something like this. Have 3 for the double. 0.8 short. What? Okay, so Heung-min Son can't be sold by... So Heung-min Son will have to be sold by someone else. But who? Maybe you don't get Heung-min Son. So let's say if you did Taylor to and sub. How much is Taylor, by the way? 4 million. Oh, it's a cheap player. Would I do that? Probably still might actually. Pascal Gross, Bowen, Foden, Saka. Pascal Gross makes the most sense. Unfortunately, you're 0.8 short. Maybe you get someone else. I've got 58. Oh, I've gone down to 144. Okay, we'll have a look. I will think about it and I will tell you on deadline day. Okay, think about it and let me know. So let me, while I'm deciding that, let me bring Tag and Guna. But first we'll go to Nick, and then after that, Mr. T, are you still here? We'll bring your team up as well, Mr. T. That's Pistol Pete, 51. Oh no. Alright, let me bring Nick. Let me load him, and then after that we will load we will load Mr. T, and then we'll look at Tag and Guna. Alright, Nick. This is your team. What were you planning to do? Again, you also have 2 free transfers. Are you free hitting in 29? Still here, sir? Alright. Let me load your team up as well. Brighton defense? Oh, you need to get rid of Brighton defense. Again, Guna, to be honest. Got to go. Actually, Nix, what's the plan? Free hitting Gameweek 29, 100%. So, you basically have to use your 2 free transfers this week then. So, what did you say? You said Tony to Solanke? Or I don't think there's a way around it now. No, you probably don't. 2, 3. You will also be in a situation where you probably play with 9 players. Because let's say instead of selling Tony, you did selling Haaland to, let's say, Solanke, and you sold Odegaard. Actually, you sold Odegaard. Maybe you sold, let's say, you sold Gordon. In Game Week 29, you would sell Odegaard, and the thing is, you would want Saka, Foden, and Palmer, all 3 of them back in on the wildcard, and you would want Palmer for Burnley. So here this is what I've also been thinking, and this is up to you guys also to let me know. Initially I was on the Game Week 30-31 idea of wildcarding, but some of you guys, looking at your squads, some of you guys are kind of set up in a way because you already have like Nick, right? You have double Chelsea as well. You're kind of set up in a way where do you still have your wildcard, Nick? You do, right? Yeah, you do still have your second wildcard. I was also thinking, I don't know if it's possible for my team. I haven't given it too much thought. But I was thinking maybe I delay my wildcard. And I don't know how good that would be. But it would depend on what happens in the FA Cup results in Game Week 29. Because I could potentially dead end my team in Game Week 34 and load up on the teams that double in 34. And then wildcard 35 and target my wildcard to have teams that would double in 37 and bench boost in 37. So that is another plan that I've been thinking about. I don't know how much I can do with my team. It'll all depend again on what happens in the FA Cup results as well. Because if the weaker teams double in 34, then I might contemplate the idea of potentially dead ending in 34. I still haven't thought about it yet, but that is another possibility as well. I ended up doing a -8 as I wanted to get rid of Pedro Porro and He-Chan. Oh. Okay, I'll have a look at your team as well, Tiger and Guna. So, what are you thinking, Nick? And then Tiger and Guna, while Nick is thinking, this is Tiger and Guna's team as well. Dubravka, Estupinan, Douglas Luiz, De Bruyne, Salah, Palmer, Barkley, Haaland, Watkins, Areola on the bench. The double Brighton defense is a problem. What's your plan this week, Tiger and Guna? What's your plan this week? Bought in Dunk and Barkley? I probably wouldn't have bought in Dunk. I would have bought in Doty, to be honest. I don't know where I'd use my second transfer on. Honestly, I have strange idea to downgrade Coble to Chris Richards. No attacking output, but he's nailed 3.9 million defender. Is Chris Richards the Crystal Palace defender? Yes, he is. So wait, why is he nailed? Has he been playing instead of someone else? Really? Just happened. My thing signed out. Alright, give me a second. Uh, give me a minute. Yeah, he's been played under the new manager from memory. So you would do Colville to Richard instead as an option. Fair enough. So let's say you did something like, what is it, Tony to Solanke and Colville to Richards. Because Crystal Palace have a double in 34, potentially a double in 34. Played 90 minutes consistently every time since game week 14. Ah. So you could go for Crystal Palace defender if they have game week in 34. Will Chelsea have a double? Yeah, but maybe you might want. Would you want Malagusto instead? I guess instead of Richards, or do you think you would rather do Doherty to Richards instead later down the line? But then where would you use your second free transfer is the question. This week especially, right? You're not going to sell Odegaard ahead of Brentford. You're probably not going to even sell any of your midfield, to be honest. Neither your forward line. Maybe you could sell Walker, but would you want Walker back? You could potentially sell Walker because they might not keep a clean sheet in the next three at least. Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa. Yeah, you could go dirty to Gusto as well. That is true. That is very true. So who do Palace play this week? They play Luton this week. Not a bad player to start as well. Why did you get this game week? I ended up getting 85 points. That's my team. I unfortunately did Darwin Nunes in Solanke because I got the news that Darwin Nunes was benched. Now looking back on it as hindsight, I wish I didn't do that move. I would have been 3 points better off. But can't do much about it anyways. So yeah, I guess you could go Richards to be honest. Maybe start him against Luton if you wanted to. Wish I picked Areola. I mean Pistol Pete. Oh, you mean instead of Ravka? Yeah, bit unfortunate though. They did lose that clean sheet. Newcastle, on the other hand, kept a clean sheet, which is very interesting. But yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, you could do something like this. So that means in game week 30, your team would look something like this, but instead of 2 free transfers, you'd only have 1 free transfer. So you would have a good team still set up. I guess you might look to offload Odegaard. I don't know. Potentially to, let's say, a Heung-min Son at that time. Or even a Salah. You might look to try and get Salah in. That's also a possibility. If you were to try and get Salah in, how do we get Salah in specifically? Maybe not this week. Maybe you get Salah in 31. That is something to think about. Unless I go walk to Chris Richards, Odegaard to Son, Tony to Solanke. So you're saying Tony to Solanke, Walker to Richards. And are you going to do Odegaard to Son this week, or are you going to do Odegaard to Son in game week 30 for a -4? Oh. Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to. I don't mind Odegaard against Brentford as well. But Son against Villa could be tempting as well. Son should have had much more than what he returned, to be honest. I was a bit lucky to get away with it, not having him this week as well. So you could do something like that, and then you go into game week 30 with one free transfer. Although probably not as enough cash to be able to get Salah, which you might look to potentially. Who knows? You could actually, you will have one free transfer, not two. So you could roll the transfer if you wanted to, go into game week 31. Sell Watkins for someone, and this is where I don't know who sacrifices who. This is where it's important to know what happens for the double in 34, because if Newcastle double in 34, right, which is possible, Newcastle will play United and Crystal Palace, then you're most likely not wanting to. You probably don't want to sell Gordon in that specific situation. Might play it safe and wait until game week 30. Not really an urgent need for a -4. That's also true. Solanke would go for a 4.5 mil forward to get Salah back. This is something I've been thinking, because Bournemouth will still have a double in 34, right? Solanke could go to another Bournemouth double potentially in Semenyo, if you really needed to get Salah back as well. Maybe Watkins might also make way, because Aston Villa won't have a double after that. They'll have City, Brentford, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool in the remaining part of their running. So maybe Watkins might also, whether we like it or not, he might leave, because we might try and get in. We could probably look to get in Darwin Núñez, right? Because Liverpool will have a double somewhere down the line. We could even look to get Højlund from United if United get that double in 34. So there are a few options that we probably need to think about. I don't see a way you can sell Watkins. I know. Even I said don't really want to do it, but City, Arsenal, Liverpool, 3 tough fixtures along with maybe Chelsea. No double game week. I don't know. We kind of had to see how the tough one actually. That's why I'm not really sure what to do. Almost impossible to sell. Yeah, at the moment he's impossible to sell. Lage, welcome. How are you doing? Do you think I should start Senesi? I already have him, or play Robertson instead? Oh. I would play. If Senesi doesn't play, right, Lage, you might as well just start him. And if he doesn't play both games, then he gets substituted for Robertson anyways. But we might get some info on that before the double as well, possibly. So maybe we wait for press conference news and see. There's no harm in starting him, because let's say you get one game of Senesi, Luton, compared to Robbo against Liverpool. That's a bit more of a closer one. Gerald, welcome. How are you doing? All right. So think about it, Nick. And while you think about it, let's go to Mr. T, because Mr. T has been waiting. So let me put Mr. T's team up as well. So 967916. think about it, Nick, in terms of like what moves you're thinking, like whether you want to do it or the 2 games I've not had Watkins. He dropped 32 points combined on me. Not making that mistake again. Fair enough. Yeah, I also don't want to sell Watkins, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Now, Mr. T is well set up for the double game week. He went and got Zaba. I'm going to call him Zaba because I'm just going to butcher his name unless someone can tell me like a pronunciation link or something. Ooh, this is a tough one, huh? The Bowen would start for Palm. For Huming. Maybe over Palm. Doty would start. Emerson? Surely you don't start him over Gabriel, so yeah, probably over Emerson. What is your plan, Mr. T? All good, man. Love the stream. No worries. Thank you very much. Sounds like his name. Gerald says, hi Ryan, able to get your advice on what transfer I should make? I'm 104 in your mini league. All right, I'll bring your team up as well. So I've got Mr. T now. I'll go piss Tiger and Guna next. And then I'll bring you up next as well, Gerald. 76 points. Okay. Yep. Well, you definitely, most likely, Gerald, you're probably thinking of getting a double game week player in this week, either Solanke or Morris. Captaincy option at least, probably. Alright, so what's the plan, Mr. T, in your team? What are the moves you're thinking about? And I would assume you're playing. Do you need to play the free hit? You actually don't need to play the free hit, right? Because you're actually set up for not having to play the free hit. So what's your plan then for this week? Plan is to roll and maybe bring in one double game week player for the blank. Then carry 2 free transfers into game week 29. Wait, I don't get it. How bring one double game week player for the blank? What do you mean one double game week player for the blank? You meaning so you're not making a transfer in 28, right? Never heard of Zaba? Never heard. Oh, he's the other Bournemouth defender alongside Senesi. Christian Ashley, welcome. How are you doing? What transfer planner website are you using, by the way? Looks pretty good. This is FPL.team. Let me actually share it for you. So I use this to showcase it to all of you guys because I can bring your teams up. Send that. There we go. FPL.team in the chat. I use plan.fpl as well. But then this is a FFS Scout. If you have FFS Scout members and Football Scout members membership, then you could probably, it's linked with the Rate Mine team in the Fantasy Football Scout membership, as you can see here. So it kind of gives me projected points for my players over the next couple weeks. So, and I can optimize my lineup as well. Oh, you did it for me. What did you do? You bought in Morris for Haaland. And it did something else. Although I don't know what it did. Sun was there already. Bought in Morris as well. So yeah, so this is from standard FPL. But if you have like a out membership, then it's more doable. But this FPL.team I've used as well is pretty good. So bring in maybe a Barkley or a Morris next week. Oh, you mean bring in for Gameweek 28, or do you mean bring in for Gameweek 29, Mr. T? For Gameweek 28, right? Because you have only one free transfer, by the way. It shows that you have one free transfer. If I have a forward line that is Tony, Watkins, and Haaland, do you think it's worth doing Haaland to Solanke for Gaming 28? I'm not going to free hit in 29. Yeah, if you're not going to free hit in 29, then I think you're most likely doing Haaland to Solanke, right, for 28? Because you don't really want to sell Tony or Watkins, right? You're in a similar situation with my certain mini league leader who also has the same forward line as you and is kind of set up for a non-free hit in 29. So I'm assuming he will also probably do the same. Exactly. Yeah. Then you probably have to do Haaland Solanke because you don't really want to sell a player who's playing in 29 as well. So Barkley or Morris? I guess you Game Week 29, maybe Solanke to Morris. But Solanke has good fixtures coming. I want to have 2 free transfers in Game Week 30. You want to have 2 free. Oh. Ooh, then I don't know if would I sell Solanke. See, if you're doing the move in Game Week 29, there is no point in doing Solanke to Morris. Not sure if anyone noticed, but Bournemouth only have 2 senior centre backs left if Senes is out for the double. Basically forces Mefam and yep. Indeed. If you're doing the transfer in 29, I wouldn't do Solanke. I probably wouldn't do Solanke to Morris. Maybe you could. But then I might do that move early as well, potentially. You could also do Solanke to Muniz. That's another option. You could do Havertz out if you wanted to. What's his name? You could do Havertz out to Madison as an option. If you didn't want to sell Solanke, you could also do Havertz to. You have Bowen already, right? You could do a Forest player. You could maybe go for who else? No one else, maybe. Probably, or maybe Douglas Lewis, but I don't know if I would go for Douglas Lewis. Or get rid of Palmer. Yeah, but you're going to want Palmer in Game Week 30 against Burnley. So I don't know if you would want to this thing. My projected team is Areola, Dunk, Saliba, Anderson, Palmer, Douglas Lewis, Saka, vice captaincy, Barkley, Solanke, Haaland, Watkins, and rollover at this present moment. Shall I transfer? Ooh. Give me a second. Tiger and Guda. Give me a second. Because Game Week 30, your team will have Palmer as well. So you probably want to start Palmer, right? I think the 2 players on potential eviction notice in my team are Palmer or Havertz. I think Havertz is probably a higher eviction notice at the moment. The next eviction notice would probably be in this team. I think when you get to Game Week 30, it might be Bowen. Because West Ham don't have a double after that. So Bowen might be your next player on the eviction notice. Havertz and Bowen over Palmer. Palmer will be someone a lot of people will be looking to get in for Game Week 30 and forward. Just because of the amount of doubles that Chelsea would have. Keep Palmer. Yeah, exactly. Keep Palmer. So maybe you look to sell Havertz out for. You could go for the Spurs player in Madison and have double Spurs. But if you want to have 2 free transfers in Game Week 30, you're going to be playing with less than 9, which I don't know if it's fully ideal. But then if you don't want to sell Solanke as well, Mm, don't have many options. You probably might have to play with like 9 players. Unless you sold Haaland in 28, which I don't know how much of a risk you want to take with that. And had one free transfer here, one free transfer in Gameweek 30. You bring back Haaland. You wanted to. So while you're thinking about that, let me quickly bring. Thanks a lot, made hard decisions. Yep. So you kind of have to think about it. Think about it and let me know. And while you're thinking about it, I will bring up Tiger and Guna. Tiger and Guna, let's have a look at your team. And then I think it was just Gerald, right? Next after that. So Tiger and Guna, this is the team you have. You said Areola, Dunk, Saliba, and Anderson. And then you would have Palmer, Douglas Lewis. De Bruyne has got to go. Saka, Barkley, Haaland, Watkins, and Solanke. I would honestly sell De Bruyne. Sell De Bruyne. You can go De Bruyne to Sun if you wanted to. Do something like this. And then you would go into Gameweek 29 with most likely or definitely having to play. Would you play a free hit? Actually, now that I mention it, you could take a hit as well in Gameweek 28. Take a hit in Gameweek 28, which is stupid and out. Bring Doherty in. This is if you didn't want a free hit as well. Or I might even just do it in general. Have this in 29. And I will probably look to remove Dunk. And I think Solanke will have to make way as well. Unless you wanted to keep Solanke. Who would I bring in for? I don't even know who I would bring in for Dunk. That's going to be useful going forward for quite a while. Maybe Region for that game. So you will be taking a -8 to field 9 players. Would that be worth it? Kivio in, Poro out, Adingra out, Foden in, Watkins out for Morris 1 week only. Matthew, welcome. 1 second. Alright, you said I bring Kivio, Foden, and Morris in for -4. Kivio for Poro, Adingra for Foden, Watkins for Morris. Are you free hitting in 29, Christian? Or what's the play there? Matthew says, can you help my team? It's 7-8. Yes, we can. I will be able to help your team, Matthew. Yes. Bowen Def has the harder fixtures. If I keep Haaland, as it only takes 1 halt, damage rank. Yep. We'll keep Palmer. Maybe Bowen to a Forest midfielder from Gameweek 30. Yes, I think that's also a good plan, to be honest. Free hit 29. Free hit 29. But then that means you would be stuck with Kivio. Wait, here's a question. Christian Ashley. Christian. The Kivio move, are you doing that because Poro... Because there is a chance that Porro is fit for this week. So I know Porro doesn't have the best of fixtures this week, but do you want to keep Porro going forward after that is another question. Or would you rather have Kivio going forward? Because I'm not certain. I need to check on Zinchenko in terms of his injury status, but not sure about his injury status when it comes to that. Kivio's minutes is probably lined with Zinchenko, right? And then Tiger Guna says, if I get Sun, if you get Sun, so you could play with 9 for a -8. I'm not sure what others think about it. Or, but then you're bringing in the likes of Region, who is probably not that great. Doherty is not a bad option for this week and next week. But Region won't have a. Region's still not a bad option, to be honest, because for Brentford's fixtures, there are some good fixtures in there. So Region's not a bad option, to be honest. So, to free money, Porro doesn't. Not the same, I think, and Kivio is a cheap defender that'll get sixes because of Arsenal's form. Fair enough. Then I don't mind it, Christian. I don't mind it at all. No problem at all. The thing is, once you take out Watkins, you're not going to get him back, right? Unless he's 8.9 now. Damn it. How much is Watkins' sell value at the moment? If I get Sun, do I play 5 midfielders? If you get Sun this week, no, I'll probably bench Douglas Lewis. Would I bench Douglas Lewis or would I bench Palmer? You don't have to get Sun this week. Thinking about it now. You could in Gameweek 28 actually. You could do. Let me show you. Hold on. Well, you have De Bruyne. De Bruyne is a waste of money. And I have to get rid of him. He's just gonna keep falling in price, to be honest. So I probably might actually get Sun this week. I would actually do Sun. I probably bench Douglas Lewis or Palmer, maybe. I'll let you decide on who to bench between Douglas Lewis and Palmer. That's a very tight one. Douglas Lewis does have an impressive home record. And I'll probably sell Estupinan out for Doty. And I would start one of them, let's say for the moment like this. For a -4. Yeah, in one move I have Sun. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I don't mind that, Christian. I actually don't mind that. And then we have before Matthew, who else was there? Gerald. You wanted to look at your team, right? Matthew will get to your team as well, don't worry. Gerald, are you still here? I'll bring your team up as well while discussing Tiger and Gunas. So bring in Sun and Dirty. Yeah. For a -4. Sean, welcome. This is Gerald's team. If I can only play 7 players for Gameweek 29, is it better to free hit than playing 7 without taking hits? Yeah, probably will free hit, Sean. I would probably free hit. Depends on who you're actually like. Who are your 7 players? I think you have. There's probably a significant advantage in free hitting and playing like 4 more extra players. That alone from appearance points is like 8 points. So yeah, I probably free hit. All right, this is Gerald's team. My cough is getting the best of me, so we won't go for too long. So we'll try and wrap as well soon. But Gerald, replace De Bruyne and Estupinian? Yes, that is correct. Tiger and Guda. De Bruyne and Estupinian. What's the plan, Gerald? Yes, mate. No worries, Tiger and Guda. No worries at all. Alright, I will load up Matthew as well. Matthew, are you still here? Also, people, if you guys could hit the like button, if the video helps you, that would be amazing if you could hit the like button. Also, subscribe if you are new as well, because we're trying to get to 700 subscribers. So at 22 away. So if you could subscribe as well, that would be amazing. What is your next live stream again? Tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a podcast with 4 panel members, including myself. So we're having 2 guests from the FPL Sidenet podcast. We're going to get both the FPL Sidenet boys on, as well as Karan, who is on a Gameweek 28 wildcard. So it will give you guys some insight as well. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Sydney time. So half an hour earlier than what this stream started at. The like button, yes, hit the like button. All right. This, I think, is Matthew's team, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Gerald's team. Now, Gerald said, gotta get Solanke in. Yeah, you probably have to get Solanke in. But I'm torn between getting him for which of my front 3. Okay, let me ask you this, actually. You're most likely free hitting in Gameweek 29. Yes, Gerald? Because I don't think you can actually play without free hitting. I would think Darwin is the best choice, but my gut feeling is Liverpool are about to go on a purple patch. Then, in that specific situation, it would be Watkins who might have to go. The other question is, when do you plan on wildcarding? Have you thought about that? 6 p.m. Perth? Let me see if that is 6 p.m. Perth. Yes, that is 6 p.m. Perth. Again, good. What time is your Saturday night live stream? Saturday night live stream would be 2 hours before the deadline. So the deadline is at 10 p.m. AEDT. So that would be 8 p.m. AEDT, which would be in your section, 5 p.m. at Perth, if I'm not mistaken. So it'd be, yeah, it'll be 8 p.m. Sydney time, so 5 p.m. your time. I already used my wildcard. Okay, so if you've already used your wildcard, you probably don't want to sell Darwin, right? Because Liverpool will start to get doubles and good fixtures. Brighton in 30, Sheffield United in 31. You probably want to buy Darwin again back in that time, right? So Watkins might be the one who most likely makes way. It's a bit early to remove Watkins, but the thing is, you'll bring Watkins back on your free hit in Gameweek 29, but you probably will sell him. How much are you selling him for right now? If you were to sell Watkins, how much is the selling price for Watkins? 8.5. Sheesh. Well, free hit in 29 is not going to, money is not going to be an issue. Is Haaland worth the shot? Haaland is also not a bad option to sell, actually. I'll be honest, not a bad option to sell. Probably, you're uncertain on selling Watkins. I think I would sell Haaland instead, because you probably have more values tied up with Watkins than you have with Haaland, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't mind selling Haaland as well to Solanke. and you probably look to bring Haaland back in like game week 30 or 31, even 31, because 30 is Arsenal. That's also not a bad shout. There is a level of risk that comes with both players at this point. So maybe you go for, yeah, so you could do something like this if you wanted to. And then if you're free hitting in 29, that means you kind of have to use your second try. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong team. This is Matthew's team. If you're free hitting in 29, sorry, wait, not Tony. What am I doing? Here we go. You could do this, yes. What do you think? I still have a wildcard and bench boost still. Yeah, we'll play a wildcard probably game week 30 or 31. Tiger and Guna. 30 or 31 for you. I think your team might have a wildcard earlier. So 30 or 31. That's probably when we're going to play a wildcard for you. And then, Matthew, are you still here? If so, what is your plan, Matthew? This is your team. You have 2 free transfers. And what do you plan on doing for Game Week 29? Oh, you're kind of set up for not free hitting in Game Week 29. No free hit. Yep, that made sense. So who's making way? Yeah, I would think of keeping Haaland out until 31. Fair enough. Yeah. So then for you, Solanke, and then up to you in terms of if you wanted to get someone else as well or not for the double. That I would leave it to you. Probably De Bruyne could also leave if you think so. But it would be for a hit, whatever you do on that. Maybe even to afford him, to be honest. But maybe because of the tough games, you probably go to someone else. Then again, I'm a Liverpool fan, so it might be my bias. Maybe, but then again, to be honest, if you're trying, because you've already used your second wild card, right? Because you've used your second wild card. When did you play your second wild card? Game week 24. Okay, so because you used your second wild card, oh, you played another chip as well. What was that? Triple captain. Okay, it's fine. Because you used your second wild card, you kind of want to build a team that will be ready for 30-31, and Darwin Nunes kind of fits into that mold. So I kind of understand it. All right, so no free hit for Matthew. So Matthew, what is the plan for 28? All right, Matt. No worries, sir. No worries. Think about it. Think about it. Have a think about it. Have a thought about it. Maybe tomorrow's podcast might help some of you guys as well. So we'll see. Thanks a lot for your help. No worries. No worries. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button and also subscribe if you guys are new. And if you know friends who are playing FPL, share the channel with them as well, to be honest. We're trying to get to 700 subscribers. Burmese Tutti. Burmese Tutti. Thank you. Sun, yes. You could get Sun. For who? Do we have money to go? No, we don't have money for Garnacho, no? Straight away. Who's making weight though? Give me a second, Matthew. Hold on. All right. If you're selling Sun, I don't know who I would sell. out of the lot. Probably. When do you plan on wildcarding, Matthew? By the way, it would depend on when you're planning on wildcarding. Ideally, I would have loved to have sold Garnacho, but would you tell me what's your plan with? How are you getting like a Morris or a Solanke in? If so, is Haaland leaving or what's the plan? Is Morris a good move? I don't mind it at all, to be honest. And I think tomorrow's podcast, we'll be having one of our guests, and I think he's also thinking of bringing Morris ahead of Solanke as well. So I don't mind it actually. Thought about selling Haaland and Garnacho to Sun. I think that probably makes sense. So if I was to do like Garnacho to Sun, Haaland to Morris, probably start Palmer, even though Foden has Liverpool. Foden's just on so much more like form. So you mean something like this? Would you look to take a hit to bring in like a Doherty or someone? Bench Tony? Oh yes, you can bench Tony. Yes, that's true. You could bench, yeah, you could do something like that actually. Would you look for Doherty as an option? Would you Pedro Porro or Region? Probably Pedro Porro, right? So that means you would go into Gameweek 29 and you would have something like this. Maybe. Okay, this depends on what you want to do because if you are willing to take the hit, I don't know if you're willing to take the hit or not. Next week, Foden to Madison and Saka to Douglas Lewis. Saka to Douglas Lewis. Oh, hold on. Here's a question for you, Matthew. How much money do you have on Saka before you do the Saka to Douglas Lewis? Because Saka currently, and I'll bring this up here for you guys to see. Saka currently is at 9.2 million. I can sell him only for 8.8. If I was to sell and buy back, I'll have to buy him for 0.4 million more. Do you have the value to be able to afford that? You would lose 0.3. The Foden, I understand. It's only 0.1 difference right now. His price could potentially fall, so it's not a problem. Would you rather do that, or would you do maybe, for example, this instead? Do the -4 in 28, get Doherty in, and then start a back four like this. Maybe you can make Son or maybe Tony, whichever. Or even Watkins as captain. There are so many captaincy options on 29. Would you rather do that? Rather 3 defenders, more points. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. Let's undo this move. Okay, so then if you're willing to take the the hit on the value, then I don't mind it. So you'll have something like this. And then is wildcard Gameweek 30, 31, somewhere around that point, potentially. Or maybe 31. Probably 31, right? Wildcard or Gameweek 30 even. Because you probably have to bring like Saka back in, Haaland back in, Salah possibly as well. Who would you buy in 31? I think Salah will be the priority. Arsenal have Luton. Liverpool have Sheffield United. City have Aston Villa. I think Liverpool against Sheffield United is probably higher priority than Arsenal against Luton, maybe. I mean 30 before the free hit. Sorry. You mean before the wild card? Game week 30. Okay, there are two ways. It depends on what you want to do. Do you want to protect rank or do you want to chase rank? If you're looking to protect rank, then either Saka or Haaland will have to come back in. If you're looking to chase rank down, if Salah is fit by game week 30, I'll probably bring Salah in. Maybe let's say for a Douglas Louis, maybe even a Bowen, right? Something like this. You could actually bring Salah plus Haaland back in. No, you can't bring Haaland back in as well immediately. Maybe that was a bit. Maybe you bring like Salah back in if you wanted to. I mean Saka back in. Chase rank down. Yes. Sorry, chase rank. If you're chasing like trying to like get into the top 100k or something like that. Salah will be the differential move in game week 30. But yeah, what I would recommend though for you is to potentially do these moves that you're doing here. Go to Game Week 31 and try and build a wildcard squad and see if you have the funds. Like you would bring in Saka, you would bring in Haaland. Who makes way? Watkins will probably make way. Let's say you go for a Darwin. Morris will make way for when if it's a 4.5 maybe or something. Madison will probably also go. So you'll have to probably like build and see a wildcard that you're happy with. Maybe Saliba goes to Gabriel instead. Stuff like that, right? Have a look and see. And make a decision because trying to buy the players back as well is going to be a bit expensive. But I think Salah might be the play if you're looking to be differential. If you're being safe, then either Haaland or Saka. Or you could, like I said, you could probably take a hit, bring Saka back in as well. And you probably just only won't have Haaland. So it's Salah against Brighton versus Haaland against Arsenal, which is not a bad bet to make at the moment. What is your thoughts? What is your thoughts? All right, I'll let you think about it in terms of what you would do. Anyone with any final questions? I think Matthews might be the final team we review, unless there are any further questions before we end it. Tiger and Gune said, I like the idea of bringing in Morris. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can go for Morris if you wanted Tiger and Gune. Instead of, who was it? You mean Haaland, right? Tiger and Gune? All right. Any final questions? For instead of Solanke, yeah, I don't mind Morris as well. If you like Morris, go get him. Instead of Solanke. 3 games instead of 2. I don't mind it, to be honest. Solanke also has good fixtures, though, I will say. But Morris also is not a bad shot. One of them you will have to captain, though. That means a minus. Oh, you want to bring. Wait, you want to bring Morris instead of Solanke? Or. Oh, I wouldn't sell Solanke to bring Morris in. No, I wouldn't sell Solanke to bring Morris in. Do you mean having Morris and Solanke both? Because Solanke has a double game week. Oh, okay. For Watkins or Haaland? Probably Haaland, right? I think for you especially, I think I probably will sell Haaland over Watkins. Because you're definitely looking to like cut your rank down, right? At this point, guessing a more differential option might be a better play, I guess. All right. What happened to Matthew? Did we lose Matthew? Uh, oh, by the way, let me also, while people are here, to share the Discord. If you are not in the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. That is the join link. The link is also in the description for anyone who wants to join the Discord. Feel free to. We usually chat on the Discord as well. So if you want to ask your questions there, all of that, you can ask it on the Discord as well. Seems like I might have lost Matthew. I don't know. But I think we will end it here. If you guys have any further questions, put it in the comments, especially for those of you who have reached up to this point and are watching this back as well. Put it in the comments. I will answer every single comment in the YouTube video as well. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe as well. There are no further questions. Get rid of Estupin, De Bruyne, and Haaland. Yes. Estupin, De Bruyne, and Haaland. You will bring in Son, Doherty, and Morris. Yes. For a -8. Yeah, I don't mind that. By that logic, I guess you probably wouldn't be. Would you be free hitting? You probably won't be free hitting then. In Gameweek 29. Alright. We'll end it there. Thank you all for watching. My voice has gone and my cough getting bad. So we'll end it there. I need to give my voice a rest as well. You've used your free hit. Okay. So yeah, then that makes sense. -8, yeah, makes sense. We'll end it there. Matthew, let me know in the comments if you're watching this back. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking in terms of moves. I'll catch you all tomorrow for the Gameweek 28 podcast. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe as well. Thank you to everyone, to Tiger and Gunnar, Lage, Matthew, Gerald, Christian, Mr. T, Nick, who else? Bucky, Connor, Tin, and anyone else? Did I miss anyone else? I don't think I missed anyone else. Thank you all. And for those who are watching in the background as well, thank you very much. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Peace out.